It's been called the most advanced fighter jet in the world. But what if we told you that the F-22 Raptor isn't what it seems? Designed for air dominance, the F-22 was introduced in 2005. Stealth, speed, maneuverability. And yet, the US only built 187 of them. Why would the Pentagon invest billions only to cancel production? Some say the answer lies not in what the F-22 can do, but in what it revealed. Test pilots reported anomalies during high-altitude runs. Navigation glitches, sudden power losses, unexplained system resets. One pilot described hearing a low-frequency hum, as if the aircraft was being scanned externally. In 2008, an F-22 vanished from radar for 3.7 seconds during a training mission. When it reappeared, its onboard clock was out of sync by 14 minutes. The Air Force called it a data error, but engineers never found a malfunction. And that's when the theories began. Insiders claim that the F-22's advanced radar system, known as AP-77, wasn't just designed for tracking targets. They say it was built to detect atmospheric distortions, like ripples in space-time. According to leaked documents, the F-22's sensors picked up objects, moving faster than any known aircraft, appearing and disappearing in milliseconds. Pilots nicknamed them skippers, because they'd skip across the sky like stones over water. Some believed they were enemy drones. Others weren't so sure. In one mission over the Arctic Circle, an F-22 pilot chased a skipper for 22 miles. The object turned 90 degrees at full speed, something no physical craft should survive. The chase ended when the object simply blinked out of existence. The pilot's footage was confiscated, and he was reassigned without explanation. There's another reason the F-22 was quietly retired, and it has nothing to do with cost. Technicians reported that certain Raptors began developing system faults only at specific altitudes. 500 pilots were surveyed. 73 of them reported the same dream. A metallic corridor, endless, dimly lit. At the end of it, a voice saying, "You're not cleared to proceed." Some dismissed it as stress, others as coincidence. But when a Black Ops intelligence officer heard the stories, he allegedly requested access to the internal recordings from the Raptors. Audio logs revealed something shocking. Whispers, not from the cockpit, but from the aircraft systems themselves. One line repeated again and again: containment breach. Later tests on the flight data uncovered encrypted system messages, strings of code that no military software team could trace. Some suggested the Raptors were receiving signals, but not from Earth-based sources. One cryptanalyst working on the case claimed the data resembled an unknown modulation pattern, seen only once before in a recovered black box from a downed UFO in 1976. He was silenced, transferred, files sealed. One engineer added that the code had timestamps, written in a format not used by any human system, as if the data had come from outside linear time. In 2012, a Raptor stationed in Guam intercepted an unidentified aircraft. No transponder, no radar signature. It hovered silently at 60,000 feet. The Raptor locked on with targeting systems, but the onboard computer refused to fire. Then, the F-22 lost all control. For 48 seconds, it was unresponsive. The pilot said it felt like the jet was inside something. He described a cold pressure around the cockpit, like being submerged in water, but completely dry. When control returned, the unidentified craft was gone. But a new symbol appeared on the Raptor's interface. a symbol no one could identify. A series of concentric triangles pulsing in red. The footage classified. The pilot transferred to a desk job in Colorado Springs. Later that year, multiple F-22s were grounded for what the military called cockpit hallucinations. But independent analysis found zero toxins in the oxygen supply. Pilots described hearing whispers through comms, even with radios turned off. Some saw flickers of light outside the canopy, like reflections from something invisible. A technician checking one grounded Raptor found a heat signature still active in the co-pilot seat, even though no one had flown it for 72 hours. Another claimed that when he touched the canopy, his handprint stayed glowing for almost 30 seconds. Some believe the F-22 wasn't malfunctioning. It was interacting with something we don't yet understand. Today, the F-22 is no longer in production, but its mysteries remain. A few units are still operational, but under strict control. Pilots who flew the Raptor say there's a reason no other country was allowed to buy it. It wasn't just about secrecy. It was about containment. Because maybe the F-22 didn't just detect anomalies. Maybe it opened them. Maybe the tech inside the Raptor wasn't entirely ours. A whistleblower claimed the avionics system was partially reverse engineered. Not from foreign jets, but from recovered non-human craft. He said the aircraft responded to thought. That pilots with certain brainwave patterns could trigger functions no manual ever described. That the aircraft could predict movements, react before commands were given, as if it were alive. Some believe the F-22 was an experiment, a hybrid, part human ingenuity, part something else. Another pilot reported that after a night flight, his Raptor's HUD began displaying unfamiliar constellations, not from Earth's sky, but from a different orientation. A map, maybe, or a message. If true, the F-22 wasn't just a weapon. It was a key. And maybe the door it opened is still out there, waiting, watching, learning. Subscribe to SKYPLUS, because what flies in the sky might not belong to this world.